When Katt Williams walked into Shannon Sharpe's club Shay podcast on January 3rd, 2024, nobody saw what was coming. What started as a regular celebrity interview became a 3-hour takedown of Hollywood's biggest names that would rack up 85 million views and change everything. Williams didn't just take shots at people, he loaded up a cannon and fired it straight at the entertainment industry's most protected figures. This is the other side of Kirk Franklin praying. Here's what makes this story absolutely wild. Almost everything Williams predicted started happening. 9 months after he sat in that chair and declared that all these big deviants is catching hell in 2024, we watched Sean Diddy Combs get arrested, tried, and sentenced to over 4 years in federal prison. The man they now call America's favorite prophet had somehow seen it all coming. Williams has always been different from other comedians. Born Micah Williams in Cincinnati, this wasn't your typical class clown who stumbled into comedy. By his own account, the man was reading at 3 years old and got accepted into college at 7. He claims he read 3,000 nonfiction books a year in multiple languages between ages 8 and 12. Whether you believe those numbers or not, one thing's clear. Williams has been collecting information on Hollywood for 3 decades, and he's not afraid to use it. The Club Shay interview was surgical in how precise it was. Williams went after Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Tyler Perry, Tiffany Haddish, and Ludacris with specific, detailed accusations that cut deep. But the most chilling moment came when he casually mentioned Diddy, saying P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you've got to tell him no. I did. At the time, it seemed like typical Williams chaos. Looking back, it reads like a warning that nobody listened to. What Williams revealed later makes the whole thing even more calculated. He admitted that his interview was carefully planned, designed to provoke a reaction without fully destroying careers. He described his comments as intentional jabs meant to force accountability without total destruction. The comedian explained, "I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. When I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people that I was talking about." But Williams held back. He revealed that his original script was so vicious that he erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs, so that the comic he was talking about knows, "I know your real story." He was going to tell this, but they know what else he knows. That's a terrifying prospect for anyone who's been in Hollywood long enough to accumulate secrets. The Diddy situation validates everything Williams was saying. After the FBI raided Combs' Miami and Los Angeles homes in March 2024, hundreds of accusers came forward with allegations ranging from sexual assault to trafficking. When Combs was arrested on September 16, 2024, Williams' warnings suddenly didn't seem so crazy. The trial that followed was a media circus, but the outcome was real. Sean Combs was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution and sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison.
Rapper and music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been moved to a federal prison in New Jersey.
Judge Arun Subramanian's sentencing on October 3rd, 2025 was the moment Williams' predictions crystallized into reality. Prosecutors had asked for over 11 years, while Combs' lawyers argued for just 14 months. The 4-year sentence, plus a $500,000 fine and 5 years of supervised release, landed somewhere in between. But for Williams, it wasn't about the specific penalty, it was about the principle that nobody in Hollywood is untouchable. The reactions to Williams' interview revealed everything about how the industry protects itself. Cedric the Entertainer fired back on Instagram, calling Williams' comments corny and challenging him directly. Ludacris dismissed the allegations through a freestyle rap, but Kevin Hart took a different approach, responding with what many called generosity and class. The varied reactions showed who was confident in their position and who felt genuinely threatened. What's fascinating is how Williams frames his role in all this. At GQ's Man of the Year event in November 2024, he was asked about his apparent psychic abilities. His response was telling, "None of them were conspiracies, which is why they all happened. I believe we're entering the golden age." Right after the age of truth, the revealing is the scab being pulled off and the healing can begin. This isn't a man who thinks he's psychic. This is someone who's been paying attention while everyone else was distracted. Williams claims he turned down $50 million offers 4 times to protect his integrity. He's been watching, collecting information, and waiting for the right moment to speak. The Club Shay interview wasn't random, it was strategic. The numbers behind Williams' cultural impact are staggering. Google searches for the comedian exploded by 1,328% in the 24 hours after the interview aired. Jumping from 85,900 to 1.2 million searches, his Instagram following grew from 798,052 to over 1.3 million almost overnight. His Netflix special Woke Folk became 2024's most watched comedy special with over 13.1 million views. Williams didn't just go viral, he became a cultural phenomenon. Shannon Sharpe himself admitted he never expected what happened. "I never in a million years thought that everything that transpired would happen," Sharpe confessed. If you notice, after I introduce him and we taste my cognac, I'm about to go into my questions. He takes off. As the interviewer, I have to make a split-second decision. Do I cut him off and go where I originally wanted to go, or do I let him go? And in that split second, I let him go. That split-second decision created one of the most consequential podcast episodes in history. Williams essentially hijacked the interview and used it as his platform to expose what he saw as Hollywood's corruption. The fact that his predictions started coming true gave him credibility that most comedians never achieve. But Williams isn't done. His latest Netflix special, The Last Report, dropped on February 10th, 2026, and the title alone is ominous. It's described as a tongue-in-cheek reference to the idea that if Williams keeps highlighting the bad behavior of his rich Hollywood peers, then the next hour might be his last. The man is essentially putting a target on his own back by continuing to call out powerful figures. The timing of everything is crucial. Williams made his predictions in January 2024. Diddy was arrested in September 2024. The trial concluded in July 2025 with a guilty verdict. The sentencing happened in October 2025. Now, as we move through 2026, Williams is back on tour with the Golden Age Tour and releasing new material that continues his mission of exposing Hollywood's dark side. What makes Williams particularly dangerous to the industry is his approach. He's not making wild accusations without evidence. He's making specific claims based on 30 years of collecting information. When he says, "In 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets," that's not bragging, that's a threat. The Diddy case is still ongoing, with an appeal scheduled for April 9th, 2026. Sean Combs even sent a letter to President Trump asking for a presidential pardon, but Trump confirmed he's not considering the request. Meanwhile, Combs' sons Justin and Christian are preparing their own docuseries to share their family's perspective, while 50 Cent produced a Netflix documentary called Sean Combs, the reckoning that Combs' legal team called a shameful hit piece. The ripple effects continue spreading through Hollywood. Celebrity arrests in 2025 felt relentless. Tom Welling from Smallville was arrested for DUI. Haley Joel Osment was caught intoxicated at a ski resort. And Shia LaBeouf faced battery charges in New Orleans. Whether these connect to Williams' broader predictions or just coincidental timing, the pattern feels ominous for anyone with secrets to hide. Williams has been clear about his motivations. This isn't about destroying careers for entertainment, it's about accountability. He genuinely believes the industry needs to be cleaned up, and he's appointed himself as the one to do it. The fact that he's been proven right about Diddy gives him enormous leverage with everyone else he's called out. The comedian's legal history adds another layer to this story. Williams himself has faced 19 felony charges throughout his career, though he maintains he has no felony convictions on his record. This isn't someone throwing stones from a glass house. This is someone who understands how the system works and knows where the bodies are buried. What's coming next is anyone's guess, but Williams has made it clear he's not finished. His Last Report special continues his unfiltered commentary, and his current tour is playing to packed houses across the country. People aren't just coming for the jokes, they're coming to hear what Williams knows about their favorite celebrities. The industry's response has been telling. Some celebrities have tried to laugh it off, others have fired back aggressively, and still others have remained conspicuously quiet. The silence might be the most telling response of all. When someone with Williams' track record makes predictions, smart people pay attention. Looking at everything that's happened since that January 2024 interview, it's clear that Katt Williams changed the conversation around celebrity accountability. He didn't just predict that powerful people would face consequences, he helped create the conditions for those consequences to happen. By speaking truth to power with receipts to back up his claims, Williams has become something unprecedented in entertainment, a comedian with real power to shape industry narratives. As we move deeper into 2026, the question isn't whether Williams will continue his mission, it's who will be next to face the reckoning he's been promising. The man who called himself a collector of secrets for 30 years isn't slowing down. If anything, the success of his Diddy predictions has emboldened him to dig deeper and speak louder. The golden age Williams promised is here, but it might not look like what anyone expected. It's an age where accountability trumps protection, where truth matters more than industry loyalty, and where a comedian from Dayton, Ohio holds more power than some of the biggest names in Hollywood. That's the world Katt Williams has created, one devastating interview at a time. The revolution is being televised, and Katt Williams is holding the camera.